All right, Todd Dobson here. I'm having a chance to sit down with the LA Roses and manager of the Los Angeles Dodgers, Dave Roberts. And Dave, I want to start with congratulations on the World Series win, but also on an LA Roses GL championship victory that happened a little over a week ago.
You know what? I always say winners win, and the LA Roses, we are now the current champions in the Grass League, and I'm proud. It's something for me. Just being a part of this Grass League is something that I felt really excited about. I think I love the game of golf, and I love competition. And so we've got a group of owners, and we got some great athletes, and so to be champions was something exciting for me personally.
And I want to stay there on the winning portion of things because, people always talk about the Dodgers have this great roster and, winnings just comes easy. But as you watch the World Series goes to 7 games, obviously in golf, winning anything is extremely difficult. Can you just speak to that? Like winning isn't as easy as people think. It's not just putting a bunch of guys in a room and it just works out. Like there's plenty of examples out there where you get the best players and it backfires. So can you speak to what it takes to win and everything that goes into it?
Yeah, you know what? It's funny is I think that the easy, the lazy way to look at things from a fan lens is, you get the highest payroll, you get the best athletes, and then you're going to win. But I do know from experience that, that's certainly not always the case, and that's why sport is so, exciting for everyone because of the uncertainty. And whether it's baseball, you've got to have some luck involved. You've got to have some guys performing and stepping up at the right moment. And that's the same way with golf. One bad round can cost you a tournament. And that's just the way it goes. So again, I think that there's a lot that goes into winning in one moment in time, but also even deeper for sustained success.
And I remember being on the broadcast and thinking to myself as your whole team is huddled around Gabby Ruffles going, Gabby, Gabby. And I just thought to myself, I'm like, is this like a Dave Roberts effect? Because it seems like wherever you go, if you reverse the curse in Boston, you go to the Dodgers, and now you're back-to-back World Series champions, and now your golf team of all things is now holding a trophy. Is there anything to that, the Dave Roberts effect?
You know what? There might be. You know what? I might need to coin that term right there. I do think that, being optimistic, being positive, and putting that out in the universe, I do think that, it certainly beats the counter way of looking at life. And, when I'm such a competitor, and obviously you don't win all the time, but I do think that the mind, the culture piece of things, expecting to win, minding the little things matter, the culture piece of it, I think gives you a better chance. It's certainly hard to quantify that, but yeah, everyone cheering for Gabby, and I think that's fantastic. I love that energy, that passion. And I do think that there's something to looking back at 2004, never quitting, never doubting your teammates. And, in 2020, we were in COVID, banding together, finding a way to kind of get through that time in our world and win a championship, and then now to go back to back. So I don't know if it's a Dave Roberts effect, but I'm also surrounded by a lot of good people.
I remember Charlie Ryder and Dylan Vanderveer were making the turn on the final day, and they were hot. They had like birdied the last 5 holes, I think, and they're like, "We're gonna go do it for Dave." So, in my opinion, I think there is that Dave Robert effect, regardless if you think so or not. But now that you have this win, there's a lot of energy around the Los Angeles Roses, and as you know, with winning comes greater expectations. And now there's a new franchise coming in, the Las Vegas Action, and they mean business. They're coming hot and heavy. They want to sign every player, and they're looking to make noise. So, from your perspective, what do you guys have to do to remain on top?
Well, I think that it's certainly, you know, it's tough to win the first one. But I do think that, and now, you look beyond and knowing that everyone's going to be gunning for you. But I do understand and believe that you have to learn how to win. And I think that you can put all the talent in the world as Vegas, I'm sure, is going to do. And that's great for us and the Grass League. But you still have to have that pedigree of winning because there's teams across sports that, it's hard to get that first one. And, and everyone wants it. But I do think that the Roses, we've got to keep that kind of grit, that toughness, that hunger to repeat and to keep winning tournaments.
Yeah, well, they got the right ownership group at the helm. So, but you know the course. You and I have actually played in an event together out there. And I want to apologize for my performance because high expectations playing with Dave Roberts. But it's crazy. Ryan Ruffles and Gabby Ruffles, the only sister brother duo to ever play, let alone win. They broke every record. They shot a 19 on the front nine on the final round. The first group to ever shoot 13 under, and then doing so in that environment when you have Big X the Plug about to come on. The place was rambunctious. You're on live television. Can you just speak to just performing under those conditions?
Yeah, and that's the thing is that, and that's the separator. I think that there's a lot of talent, whether it's golf or baseball. But I do think that when the lights get brighter, expectations are heightened, and the moment for some people gets to be too big, and things are more magnified. But for the Ruffles, I think the story is fantastic. The brother sister duo, I think that there's nothing better and sweeter than that. And to kind of know Gabby's story, to just take up the sport from being a tennis player originally, to team alongside her brother, I think that's great, for us, for the game, for their family. But yeah, I will say that performing when the stage is the biggest, that's what separates champions.
Well, it's having an effect on my kids. My oldest 6-year-old literally says his favorite golfers and favorite team is the Roses, Gabriella, and Ryan Ruffles. I was like, dang, man, those are some strong words. But so something's working. But for the last part, I want to do something with you. I think you're gonna geek out with me on this because I love this. But I'm gonna describe your golf team in the way I see the players, and then I want you to, pair that person up with a comparison on a Dodgers player. If
Oh, I
that
like it. All right, let's do it.
Okay, so let's start with Gabrielle Ruffles. She's a two-sport athlete, like you said. She was the number one junior tennis player coming out of Australia. She then quit tennis, focused on golf, gets a USC scholarship, goes on to win the Women's AM, first ever to do so in 2018 from Australia. And now she's on the LPGA, up and coming star. She's young, and she just top 10 in a major last year. I mean, there's nothing she can't do. So who on the Dodgers would she represent?
I think this is a layup. This is a good one, and I don't want to kind of overthink this one. I'm going to go with the player that um, plays two positions. He's a pitcher, he's a hitter, and I'm also liking this to Gabby because he can do anything else. Outside of the baseball field, I think Shohei Ohtani can do anything. Just like I think Gabby, anything she tries, she can dominate. So my choices were either Shohei or Mookie Betts.
Wow. That she's going to be glad to hear that. So the next one, obviously, Ryan Ruffles, her brother. And if you watch them play, he was like kind of that steadying force. Like, we got this, sis. But if you know anything about Ryan Ruffles, at 17, always love to say he was the can't miss kid out of Australia. He was the next Tiger Woods. Came over here, played in a ton of exemptions on the PGA Tour, performed well. Just, in the PGA Tour, it's very difficult to get on the tour and stay on the tour. Battled injuries, but now I think he's more so the comeback kid. He's 27, still has so much to go. He's got a YouTube channel with Jason Day. But most importantly, he just won on the Grass League, and he's fired up and is healthy again. So anybody that sticks out to you on the Dodgers?
You know what I think for me right now, I'm going to go with Tyler Glass now. And I say that because he's got a tremendous skill set, talent, and he's just a tremendous guy, tremendous competitor. And at 30 years old, I think that he just won his first World Series with us. And I think his best years are ahead of him. And he's always been the prospect, the guy, but he's always something that's kind of hasn't allowed him to take that next step. And I think as he's got these experiences, I think that like Ryan, I think this is going to make him better looking out.
I love that. That's a great comparison. Next one, I know your son will know this guy, Charlie Ryder. Absolute superstar in my books. He's a freak golf talent. He's hit the ball further than Bryson DeChambeau off the tee. It's on video at one of the most recent U.S. Opens he played in, but he's been in the limelight since he was 16. Again, two U.S. Opens of the last four he's played in, ton of PGA Tour events. And I've been saying this for a while. He's just knocking on the door. Like something's going to go his way, and then he's just off to the races, and he'll be a top 50 player in the world. But right now, he looks like a GQ model wearing your Roses gear, but he's a member of the Los Angeles Roses. Anyone stick out to you?
I love Charlie. I had him in my garage hitting the sim, and like when Shohei hits a ball in batting practice, it's a different sound. And when Charlie swings a golf club and makes contact, it's a different sound. What a great dude, stud, special. I agree with you, Todd, that it's going to happen for him. I'm going to say, God, that's a good one. I'm going to say he's not on my roster right now. He's been on my roster before, and he's a three-time champion, two-time champion, Walker Bueller. Walker is a very talented guy, does things his own way, and that's kind of his secret power. But I think that once he learned to kind of take in a little bit more information, manage things a little bit differently, then it lended itself to a little bit more consistency and let that ability kind of take over. So I'm going to put Charlie in that Walker Bueller bucket.
They kind of look alike too. That's interesting you said that. I love it. His playing partner, also a friend of your son's, Dylan Vanderveer. Again, another freak golf talent, 6'4" frame, best friends with Charlie Ryder. But Dylan has this knack about him to be kind of like the jovial guy in the locker room. You know, he's always going to be cracking jokes, although he's serious, keeps everything lighthearted. And he's kind of a glue guy, in my opinion. Who sticks out to you?
Uh, just kind of given that, and I don't know Dylan as much, I would say Kike Hernandez. And I say that with the caveat of no one's going to be as crazy as Kike. But I will say that being a glue guy, comfortable in his own skin, doesn't take life too seriously. But when you need a foxhole guy, a guy that, look to your side, that's who Kike is, and that's where I'm going to place Dylan.
Love it. Next one, Andrew Van Lossow. And Andrew is one of the best mid-am players in the country. He's won the mid-am player of the year in Washington, I think like 6 years in a row. There's a reason he's on this team. He is one of the most polite gentlemen, the nicest gentleman. It just you're lucky to have him on your team because he really represents what's good in golf. And then at the end of the day, he's just a workhorse and willing to do anything for everybody. So anyone stick out to you on the Dodgers?
So two guys. I'm gonna go with it's a tie. I'm gonna go with Yoshinobu Yamamoto and Will Smith. Um, Two guys that don't need much adoration, kind of acknowledgement, kind of put their hard hat on, do their jobs, very polite, very respectful, and dependable. And so I'm gonna say those two guys.
Love it. Next one, Blake Snyder. He's a 33-year-old golf professional. He's now teaching, but he's been all over, played in Asia, played here, there, every tour except the PGA Tour. And he's a freakish talent in creative as well. So at the grass clippings open, he chipped from off the green, which would have been like a 20-yard chip, and started running after the golf ball. It goes in, and he was right there to pick it up. And I was like, what was the plan if you didn't make it? And he's like, I don't think that way. And if you look at him, he doesn't look like much. You're like, is this guy a bag boy or is he playing for the Roses? So he doesn't care regardless. But he's as good as anybody on our team. So does that stick out to anybody?
That's a good one. I see. For me, he's a guy that just kind of is a glue guy as well, and I think that you got to have that experience to kind of round out a team. Miguel Rojas is a guy that kind of comes to mind when I think of all encompassing as well, because you can't really appreciate things in life if you don't sort of go through life. And Miguel Rojas, who obviously had the big, huge homer in Game 7, I'm going to put with
Okay, love it. Next we got two more. Last pair. Uh, Everyone calls him Bat, but his name's Asiel Batisbaga. He's from Australia. He's buddies with Ryan Ruffles. He's also on that YouTube channel with Jason Day, Ryan Ruffles, and Bat. And his personality is so loud and infectious, and his Australian accent. You're like, I could sit and just listen to this guy for hours on end. He played at the highest of levels. There's great stories about how he was discovered by Darren Clarke's agent while on a range in Australia. Played on the European tour, and he's kind of on that next stage of life, kind of still playing golf, but on this YouTube channel, loving life in a better place now. And of course, part of the LA Roses. But kind of like Dylan Vanderveer, he's gonna make everything feel lighthearted in the locker room.
Yeah, you know what? That's so, and I know I used Miguel Rojas already, but after every series win 2 out of 3, win 2 games, he created this tequila shot situation for everyone, on the team, all the players. And
Yeah.
so when you're on the airplane or the bus, he was the guy that grabs the mic and says jokes, calls out young players, has fun with them. He's got this Venezuelan accent that I could just listen to him talk as I'm trying to translate as well, and understand. But I laugh with him. He doesn't take himself too seriously. I'm going to give Miggy 2 guys.
Love it. Love it. And the last one, Mitchell McCarthy, who is a minority owner and player, and he's, in his crew that he runs with, he's the best golfer. So, they're like, you got to go play. And I would say he's, soft spoken. He's kind of that quiet leader. But all the players respect him, follow him. He's the oldest guy on the team and just leads by example.
Mitchell, this is an easy one. We're going to go with the GOAT, Clayton Kershaw.
Boom. Boom.
That's a mic drop right there.
Yes, I was hoping you said that. I love it. Well, Coach, any last thoughts on the LA Roses?
No, man. I love what the grass league's doing. Bring it on. We're the defending champs, the current champs, and you better bring it, man. The Roses, from ownership to our athletes, man. We got no chinks in our armor, and we're gonna bring it every time we take the course.
You heard it. I don't know who to be scared of more, the Dodgers or the LA Roses, and that's saying
Oh
something.
man, pick your poison, as they say.
Well, Coach, I appreciate it. It's one of these days we're gonna play an event again, and I'm gonna make up for that poor performance we had.
I'm in, my guy. Anytime.
All right. Thanks again, Coach.
All right.